opened my eyes this week when I found out that they were making a film about female footballers that came into fruition in the early 50s. Right. Now, they're called the Corinthians. Oh. Okay? They're absolutely sensational, and they were the original rebel sort of football girls, because you weren't allowed to play football as a girl back in the day.
No, there was a team in Preston, actually.
Yes.
Yes.
Well, you probably do. But Manchester also had the best team. They went all over the shop, you know. They won loads of awards, and they lost these awards, and it was only a few years ago they all came back together. Well, not all of them, because some of them are about 6 foot under, but listen, a few of them came together. I hope everybody caught that. Like, for those who don't know, can we have a close-up on Llewellyn, please? Because this is the look that I get when I say something wrong. So, quite a lot of these footballers are dead. That's the look I get, everybody. It's not my fault. I say it as it is. But they've all come together. This lovely woman who used to be a journalist and a TV presenter has put a film together. It's been 4 years in the making. Would you like to have a look?
I certainly would.
Have a look at this. So we're joined here now by the filmmaker Helen. Now, Helen, tell us all about this. Where did the idea come from, and why did you get so passionate about it?
I just like making films about rebel women who have got a lot to say, and I've made documentaries before about Emmeline Pankhurst, the original rebel girl from Manchester. And I read a feature about this forgotten women's team who toured the world, who are from Manchester, and I literally couldn't believe that I'd never heard this story, and I'd worked here this many decades.
Yeah.
And so I tracked them down. We all met up at the football museum, and they had all these trophies and talks about, playing to crowds of 60,000 in South America, and I was like, we need to make this film. Nobody really wanted it to be made. We kept getting told that nobody cares about women's football, it's too niche. But we were like, we will make this film with you. So we set up a company, Films Not Words, like the Suffragettes, and we spent 4 years filming it with them. But yeah, it's just, for me, it's the story of some rebel girls who would not take no for an answer, and the fight against the establishment, which I guess is like what we do best in Manchester.
So what's the process then? You obviously feel passionate about something, you want to get it made. How do you go about researching? How do you go about getting these stories that kind of, unfortunately, Manchester kind of forgot?
Yeah. Well, I used to be a journalist before I went into TV, so I'm used to going around and having lots of cups of tea with people and chatting for hours. So I did that, and I had a group of surviving players. I mean, these women started playing in the 1950s, so sadly, quite a lot of the players aren't with us anymore. But we have 10 surviving players, and I would go and chat to one for a few hours and look through the phone, and they say, oh, you need to go and speak to Marlene. So I go and speak to Marlene, and she, you need to speak to Pauline. And we've pieced it together. So we've made the film entirely just by the women talking. There's no narrator, there's no voiceover, it's just them talking down the camera. But a lot of cups of tea and a lot of trips to look through photo albums, basically.
So why is this an important film for now then?
Yeah. Well, I think a lot of people are obviously getting into women's football now, and I don't think many people realise that it was actually banned for 50 years. So the FA banned women from playing on any affiliated pitches from 1921 to 1971. And this team, the Corinthians, they were founded in the middle of that ban. So when they were founded, literally, it was a real stigma for girls to play. They didn't tell anyone. They had to go and sneakily buy boots, pretend it was for their brothers. And they basically got ridiculed in the national papers. But they just really wanted to play, and they stuck with it. They won championship trophies around the world. And I think why it's important now is because girls have grown up today thinking that, oh, women don't play football, girls never played, but they did. And there was these rebel girls. And I think all the women and girls that we meet now really want to be inspired by that team. They want that heritage, and it really helps them because, not a lot's changed, has it? Girls still can't play on the same pitches. They haven't got the same wages. They haven't got the same health care and all that sort of stuff. So we're hoping that the Corinthians now will make all those modern day players more militant.
And of course, it's having its premiere here in Manchester. Why was it important for you to have it here in Manchester?
Well, as soon as I met them, I thought, we're a football city. We've got United and City, but where is the women's representation? You know what I mean? And I thought the Corinthians should be the third team of Manchester that we all know about. And we want to get you that recognition. We want to get it for them nationally because they were the best team in the country at the time. But we want the premiere here in Manchester. We don't go down to London and do it down there. We want it here. And the dream was always do it at home because that is, such a prestigious venue. And from the very beginning, when we were going around with buckets tickets raising money for the film. I was like, we will get you on a red carpet at home cinema if it's the last thing we do. So to be here and for the women to be like celebrated around the city, that's what it's all about. Like, I'm so pleased for them, you know, that people are recognising them and listening to them. So yeah, it had to be home. Like, you don't want to go to London.
And finally, why should people be interested in coming seeing this film?
I think, you know, I'm not the sportiest person. I just like stories of rebels and mavericks and, you know, and it's a great story. I mean, it should be really like a Hollywood film, and it's a 90-minute film. It's a real roller coaster. It's, like I say, it's a David versus Goliath battle, them against the system. We've got unseen archive that we've dug out from 50 years ago of them playing. We did a comic strip of the Corinthians. We've got a punk girl soundtrack from Manchester band Loose Articles. So it's not your average sports documentary by any means. There's something in it for everyone, but it's a real... I think you come and watch this, you'll leave inspired by the Corinthians, whatever, you know, whether you're into football or not.
So if you could introduce yourself for us, please.
Hi, I'm Jean Wilson. I played for Manchester Corinthians at outside left position.
I'm Anne Grimes and I was the goalkeeper.
And I'm Myra Lipnitsky and I was left half.
Right, so come on then, let's get into it. The Corinthians, they were trailblazing, but they kind of weren't recognised enough, were they?
Not at all. Absolutely not. The FA banned us completely. And even if a male dared to referee a game of ours, the FA banned him for life.
Wow. Now, of course, when you were growing up, you were into football. I mean, and not allowed to display it as much as you wanted to when you were a young person.
Yes, but I think when you're young, if you want to do something like I played quite a lot of sport, and you just do it, don't you? Really, you don't think about anything else when you're young. You just want to play football.
And of course, being Manchester, the best place in the world, by the way, isn't it?
Yeah.
How important was it for you to be able to play the sport you wanted to here in Manchester?
Well, it's very important because where else would we have gone?
Yeah.
I mean, this is our place, isn't it? So you just do it and never mind what people think. We got really ridiculed at some times, didn't we?
Yeah.
Yeah, but we got so much enjoyment out of it. Loved the game, wanted to play it, and didn't care what anybody else thought.
And you got around the world as well with this team, didn't you?
Yeah, we went all over Europe, all over South America, all over the Caribbean.
And why is it important that people do remember the Corinthians?
I think because people call us pioneers, but we were a resilient set of girls who were determined to play the sport that we loved. We had a lot of opposition, a lot of ignorance, but we played and played because we loved the game.
And to those that, you know, still say that football is a man's sport, what do you say to them?
Rubbish.
Thank you, ladies. Thank you so much. Thank you. Well, we've been given an exclusive trailer, everybody. So I thought the best place to watch it was the cinema. Roll it.
They were all laughing when you come out on the pitch, and I used to think,
the finger being pointed, stop that.
They just laughed at us, basically.
but they soon shut up when they saw us playing.
We can play sport. We can kick a ball with some ball.
We played the game as the men played it.
I used to like fouling people.
Stop her, she's only a girl.
If you can't stop them, drop them.
For God's sake, stop her.
They didn't want women to play football, did they? That was it.
It wasn't ladylike.
Girls and guys can do this thing. Now let's get back to the game.